Okay. I think we're live, folks. Are we? Yeah. I think we're here. Anyway, it's New Year's Eve. Knock one of these out for the end of the year. Let's do something. Let's be productive. I'm gonna kind of kick over. I got a little music playing in the background. It's my favorite song. It's kind of the channel music. Got my Coheed and Cambria hat on. It's one of my favorite bands. I just grabbed it because my hair is falling out. It's just the way it is, man. Wear a hat. Shave the beard. Looking good today. Well, it was huge. That's all I'm gonna say. Ugh, hate that. So let's kind of a surprise live stream. I said I was not going to do one anytime soon, and I lied my ass off to the person who I said I wasn't going to do that to, and lied my ass off. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the show, and I'm going to just kind of bop over here. This is impromptu. I have nothing set up other than to read comments, but there is something I want to address first before we get going because we're moving into the new year. First of all, to everybody that visits and comments and then has watched the videos, much to my surprise, blows my mind. I got to click a button here. Please hold. I still get new subscribers. The videos get plenty of views. I get it and I don't get it, so I'm surprised by that. So thank you very much to everybody that's kind of popped in and out. Again, I'm doing impromptu here, so I'm running a bunch of different things. I don't have a producer today. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm giddy because it's the new year. A lot of things happening. So, the first thing, let's talk about. Maybe I'll move over to the other screen. This one. And just turn the music off. That way I'm in the middle. Let's do that. Let's do it in the middle. I'm going to be kind of looking around because I'm making sure everything works. I haven't done this in a while. I appreciate everybody being here, and I hope the community, the people that come in and read this stuff, get benefit out of it. I do. I hope you do. So we're just going to keep plugging away into the new year, 2023, and just see where things take us. To that, I had plans to start doing research, using research journals, actual research journals to find out what's going on with the current thinking of PVCs, atrial fibrillation. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. I've turned off all cognitive ability because it's the new year. Okay, folks. Just bear with me. But I got COVID, and it sucked. I get hit pretty hard with it. My wife got hit with it too. I gave it to her. Thankfully, she got on the meds right away, and she did much better with me, which I'm very grateful for. I had it, and then I had the rebound. So everything has just put on pause simply because of that. I've tried to do a few comments here and here. But I have zero energy. I have other stuff going on. But I want to talk about, since it's the new year, let's talk about this last stuff. What happened to me with PVCs and COVID. COVID changed stuff. Sometimes my PVCs feel normal, and sometimes they don't. There's a new phenomena here for me. They feel different. I'm having different sensations. I had an incident driving home last night from out of town where I had what I felt was an atrial run, tried to cough and swallow at the same time, and everything just locked up. Never felt that. It was very horrifying, but made it through it, pushed through. I'm driving. Got no choice. And the severity of the PVCs is varying more. Some are the normal, good hit, move on. And some are just like this real faint stuff, and it's just weird. And it's very disconcerting because I don't know what the hell's going on in there. I use my Alive Core monitor and all that stuff. I can't catch anything because it's not 24-hour a day monitor. So I'm going to visit the old cardiologist here soon. Just do a run. I've read some interesting things in research journals about the long-term effects on the cardiovascular system after COVID. Now, I did take the medication. I took it within the prescribed, time frame, but I felt horrible. I just felt completely horrible. I'm not going to go into too much about that, but while I was sick, I could feel my PVCs change. the pressure in the chest and all these things. Of course, I'm checked out for the myocarditis and pericarditis and all that stuff. But it all changed, and it is changing. I don't know, so I got to get that checked out. But that and the fatigue, golly gee willikers, Batman. The fatigue is just horrible, and I don't know if that plays into the changes, just being tired all the time. What's the effect? Is there a structural effect? Is there a neurological effect? I don't know. Got to find out. So that's kind of where things are, but I'm going to kind of keep track of that more. I've been reading some journals on that. So I'm hoping maybe I can do two things, the post-COVID, because I've had PVCs all my life. Had COVID, dodged that bullet for a long time, got COVID. Now what happens? Plus, where's the latest thinking on COVID? Where are we going with this stuff? I don't know. And that's what I hope to find out. But more to come in the new year. Some other changes that are going to impact stuff. I'm hoping to be able to do this a little more. I say that once in a while. It never works out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that takes care of that portion of it. I'll go into more detail of that as time goes on because I'm just getting over all this stuff. This a third thing? I've lost track. And that COVID brain thing does not make me happy. Anyway, before we get into comments, I just want to remind folks that this is a platform to be positive and share stories and help support each other and at the very least get information on a condition that most people don't talk about and doctors are dismissive of. So when you come into my channel, and let's not mistake what it is, it's my channel, and you have negative comments, you're deleted. Okay? I ain't putting up with that. And I ain't gotta put up with that. So if you watch this video, and 99.999% of everybody is fantastic. Well, there's always a few ne'er-do-wells that want to just jump in there and act like, well, you get it. So just so you know, I deleted. You're gone. You're history. Just like that. I ain't putting up with that crap. Anyway, let's be positive. Let's move on. Let's move. Let's move. Oh, I gotta hit the button. It just doesn't. See if I do this. It's magic. Miss Lady Blue World. Hello. How are you? How are you doing? Welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to my impromptu New Year's Eve show where I'm going to try to hit some of these comments, man. We got some good ones. We got some real good ones. So let's just dive in with both feet and hope the fish don't tickle. All right. So come on in, Lady Blue. Welcome. And here we go. So let's just start at the top. Let me make my window a little bigger here so I can read this easier. Sovereign Solutions. Okay, let's So this is 2 hours ago. Oh my gosh, this is recent. I think I was working on responding to this one. I don't know. So it says, Steve, do you ever get 14 plus per minute for hours upon hours? I used to. I think my burden was, the last when we were at the worst was 23,000 in a day. I don't know. I remember something like that. It was around that number. Yes, I've had so many a time. Yes, Sovereign, I feel what you're saying there. Yes, I did get them, and I've survived. That's the best thing I want to impart. I did survive, and I'm gonna boop and thumbs up you, okay? But yes, to answer your question, I used to. I don't now, okay? So let's go on down because I don't know how to scroll like a person does. Retro Gaming Maniac. I love me some retro gaming. Dude, I play some seriously old Call of Duty. Let's go over here to my comments screen. It says, Miss Lady says, I just found out I have PVCs. It literally took 2.5 years for someone to catch it on ultrasound. Wow. 2.5 years? If you don't mind a question, Miss Lady Blue World, I'm going to call you Miss Lady, if that's okay, or if that's fine. Did they not do a Holter? Like a device that reads your heart rate over, reads your heart over a 24 to 14 day, 30-day period? I'm just curious if that was ever. Doesn't sound like it if they finally caught it on an ultrasound. Usually, from my experience, that's how you find that stuff. Is they do that for you. Excuse me. Let me know. Curious. Retro Gaming Maniac. I have about 20 PVCs a minute all day long. Okay. Retro, meet Sovereign. Sovereign, meet Retro. You guys are pretty close in the same boat. I'm going to thumbs up you and boop you here. I'm not there anymore. I used to be. I really, really did. So I fully understand, and I don't like to tell people I understand something unless I do. But I've been there. I've lived it. I survived it. It's crushing. It's trauma. It is trauma. I don't care what anybody says. It's trauma. It's traumatic. And it has a lasting impact for some folks. And to have that many in a minute, I mean, that'll blow your mind. Nobody else can understand that unless they do it. I just can't. It's hard to find people that understand it. And I've told the story about an old doctor I used to have. She started having them, freaked out on the weekend, called another doctor to get meds right away. Right? Well, we don't get to do that. But she was understanding. I'm not saying that. But yeah, 20 minutes, 20 PVCs a minute, 14 minutes of PVC, you're in hell. That's Dante's 7th level of hell. It's that simple. Retro, hang in there. Hang in there. A lot of us are where, I'm going to say Retro and Sovereign, a lot of us in this community have been where you're at right now. Some of us still are. Okay? And I don't know if you know this, and I've said this a few times. I have had these things since I want to say early to mid 20s, around in there, and I'm 51 now, so I'm still here. Okay, thanks for posting, guys. WTB, hold on, got a chat message. Newport YT, love your guitar. I started getting a lot of PVCs after my SVT ablation. I'm sorry, we got to do it. Yep, that's my new one. Right there, it's pretty. That's a pretty guitar. All right. I have a few more that way, like 5, 6, 7 more, but I'm not going to get into that. But thank you very much. I love that guitar. I'm just real quick, guys. We're going to get off on a little bit of an aside. That is a Firefly. Now, normally I play Les Pauls and such like that, and Jackson. But that's a Firefly. It's a great guitar. I need to change the pickups, but the neck on it, oh my gosh. Phenomenal neck. Anyway, you started getting a lot of PVCs after your SVT ablation. I've heard that. I've heard that sometimes after ablations you can get PVCs. Even if you go in for the PVC ablation. No, I take that back. I've heard of people getting PVCs after having like the SVT and some of the other ablations. I've heard that. And I think sometimes you have to go in for the second. I don't know, but I've heard of that in the past from different folks that sometimes they have to go in for the second round of ablations. And I don't think that's uncommon. Somebody correct me. Somebody get down in there in the comments and tell me, hey, no, you're wrong. Or, hey, right on. Okay? So I'm not sure. But thank you for posting, Newport. Nice to see you. Welcome to the New Year's Eve show. The impromptu, out of nowhere, spontaneous. All my stuff still worked after an operating system update. New Year's Eve show. Okay, WTB writes, Klonopin definitely helped me get off my SSRI after 12 plus years. I was on 1 milligram a day or 0.5 a day. Klonopin tapers next. I've been on it for about 6 months. Now, that was a comment in post to surviving lorazepam, and benzos. Because I was on those for just forever and amen. And getting off of them was horrible. Just as bad as the PVCs and stuff. But thank you for sharing, WTB, and I'm glad that you're getting off the SSRIs. I'm glad you're able to do that, and I'm glad that Klonopin is helping, and then you're going to taper. That's great news. So I'm going to thumbs up you. I think that was really loud, sorry. And I'm going to heart you, okay? Jake loves Jesus. Okay, Jake, seen you around before. How you doing? I recently got on Welloo. It keeps showing my heart rate in a crazy rhythm that looks like VFib. I'm done. I'm out. I'd stop using it. I can't do that, man. If my heart monitor would show me that, I'd be like, ah! Anyway, I let my family members try it, and it showed them in dangerous rhythms too. Not sure if it's legit or not, but all the tests that doctors have done on me never suggested VFib. I sure hope it ain't true, because it's dangerous. I'm gonna look this up, so my eyes are gonna avert, and you're gonna get the handsome profile. Let's see what it says. I can't type. I typed Ouija. Sorry, it's just New Year stuff, right? Well, let's put in heart monitor. Oh, there it is. Right there. All right. I'm looking at it. Hold on. Well, hot diggity, this is snazzy. I've never seen this before. Fantastic. Is this FDA approved? I'm just curious. Let's go to the facts, all right? You know what I'm going to do? You guys are patient, folks. Let me, I'm going to do this because I want to see this with you, okay? I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it in here. And if this works, we'll roll. If not, we're going to move off. Click OK. All right. There it is. So the other browser, I'm going to turn the eyebrow off there. And let's take a gander at this. I'm going to make this interactive. Okay, so I can see. Okay, so here we are. And I'm going to open this back up because I want to see everybody's comments. Thanks, guys. All right. So that looks snazzy. Yeah. Let's see. I'm curious if this is FDA approved. The reason I say that, doesn't say. Is this British? I'm gonna look more into that. I think that's interesting. I'm not seeing anything about approval. If anybody knows, let me know. If you know what kind of like health approval, like if it's the British is the health agency there approved it for official use. Because I got to be telling you, that's snazzy. Okay, let's go to products. Let's take a look here. All right. You like it? 24 hours? 24 hours. All right. Well, I'm going to have to look more into that. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. That is, that's profound. That's wound. Let's turn my browser back on. Okay. Click there so I don't have the red bars. Okay, let's look at the chat real quick. Take a look. Andy Campbell says, hi. Hi, Andy. Welcome in. Come on. Take your shoes off. Wade in the water. Hi, I'll just stumbled across the live session as I'm stuck in a 7-hour PV storm every third beat. Okay, so you're in trigeminy. You're right. It sucks. You nailed it. Your language is apropos, as we say. I would love to say that. Wow, that's strange. That's odd. It's not, Andy. I can only talk about myself. Please feel free to read through here different people's story in that. Trigeminy. I've been in that many a time. I've even gone to the hospital once to have it looked at. And when I was in trigeminy and they let me go home. And my cardiologist that I was referred to, the electrophysiologist, that I was referred to, asked me, why'd you go to the ER? Because I'm in trigeminy, man. I'm there. I wish I could give you an instant fix. I don't have one. I wish I did. I wouldn't even sell it. I'd give it away if I could come up with that magical, Yeah. hang in there, buddy. Stick around. We're going to be here for a little bit. We're going to go through some more comments, and anybody wants to chat in there in the live, I'm watching that. It's over here. I'm averting my gaze this way. Newport says, VFib, you would be unconscious since it's a cardiac arrest, essentially. Yeah. That's why I think I would just be done with the app until I got it confirmed. There are a lot of things that can go wrong between a device and the body. Like, let me open up my little doohickey here. Be right with you. This is my LabCorp Cardio Mobile. Yeah, you can see that there. That's what I use. They're not perfect. I will tell you that. That really gives. There's a lot of artifacts sometimes. I like it. I if anybody asked me, I'd recommend it. It's not 24-hour. You have to sit down and do it. And sometimes I get a lot of artifacts that I got to redo it. But it is accurate. In conversations with my cardiologist during COVID, I would send him my PDF or just hold it up to the screen sometimes, and he would just read it. And he was amazed, and he liked it, and he said it was very, very accurate. So I'm curious about the other one, though. I'm going to have to see what that's like, because that's a very interesting tool to be able to have a 24-hour. So thank you very much for who said that? Gee, many Christmas. Who said that? Did I just make that up out of somewhere? I can't even see it in my chat. I don't know. Anyway, somebody posted that. I have a COVID brain. Sorry. So Newport says, Newport says, what's interesting is I'll get ventricular bigeminy here and there. Never had that before the SVT ablation. It's like they fixed one thing and the ablation screwed something else up. Yeah, and that's irritating, because you hope to get relief. You get relief from one thing. Is the SVT better? I mean, are you no more SVT? But now you have PVCs. I wonder what your cardiologist would say about, what to do next, because I feel that's common. I remember reading that somewhere. And if anybody else again knows that, please let me know. Okay. But yeah, the cardio I like. I wish they came out with a 24-hour, just slap it on there and run it. I'd love to have that. All right, let's get back into the browser stuff. So I don't need that one. I'm going to turn that one off. Guys, I am out of practice, and I'm not even going to lie. I would love to lie to you and say, no, I'm not out of practice. I am so... Where's my other monitor? Do I have to turn... It's back on there. Had to turn it back on. Sorry. My bad. So where are we at here? Oh, where'd Jake? Oh, man, I lost my others. I'd recently... Oh, that's where I read it. Oh, my gosh, guys. I'm telling you. Ugh. He mentioned it. Thank you, Jake. He keeps showing... Okay. Yeah, I would stop using that until I got confirmed, because potentially that would mess up my brain. But... as Newport says, if you had that, you'd know. See Cassidy. I'm just gonna call you Cassidy. Hope that's okay. Thanks, Stephen. These videos speak the language that I would dearly love to use when I'm visiting my cardiologist or EP. It had never occurred to me before that each PVC inflicts a trauma, and that trauma compounds with each successive PVC. Use the language. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We're our best advocate for healthcare. And if you advocate for yourself and you share with your doctor what's going on, and your doctor ignores you or finds your language too direct, in my opinion, my humble opinion, fire them. We have that ability, folks. We can fire people. We can fire our cardiologist. We can fire our doctor. We are in control of our healthcare. Doctors and medical organizations and companies would have you believe that they're the boss. We're going to tell you how we're managing the session, right? You come in, we're going to give you 15 minutes, and we're going to kick you out, and we're going to do it fast. The nurse is going to come in, she's going to get your vitals, she's going to weigh you, she's going to hit you with a blood pressure cuff, she's going to check your maybe temperature if you're sick, she's going to do the O2 stat, she's going to ask you why are you here today, and then she's going to bolt out of the room. The doctor will be with you shortly. The doctor's going to come in, and they're going to move because not all doctors, no blanket statement, but the ones that I've seen a lot, got to get going. You got 15 minutes, right? You get 15 minutes. If it runs long, some places double park patients. So if you run long, or we don't get any cancellations, they're screwed. They got to hustle. That's not a good doctor. That's not a good place to have healthcare. Now, I'm pretty limited because we have one hospital, we have a clinic, and they both use the same philosophy. So I fight it. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. You're absolutely right that each time my PVC hits, you think I'm going to die. I mean, no matter what we ultimately die of, the moment of death is when the heart stops. All adults know that. So PVCs raise the specter of death in our minds because the heart is failing to work. Therefore, death could be imminent. Benign is a cardiologist technical term that has no relevance in the real world for anyone actually suffering PVCs. Keep up the... You guys say this so much better than me. I'm going to give you the thumbs up and the boop. Thank you, Cassidy. Appreciate that. Cassidy, we got another here 9 days ago. Looks like he's watching a few different videos. I'm sorry, I make that assumption. They could be a female. Sorry. Newport says, yes, the SVT is gone now. I used the cardia to diagnose my SVT 2 years ago at 270 beats per minute. AVNRT was the type of SVT they found in that, but okay, at least that much. Congratulations. I'm glad that worked. And I'm glad to see the cardio was allow you to diagnose that yourself. Because how many times do people just ignore you and say, hey, we can't see it. Miss Lady Blue World. Can't see it? What do we care? Well, I don't believe it. We can't do anything until we catch it. With these new home devices, that like the web, I'm hoping we can figure that out. That'd be nice. And something I could talk about. So, Newport, thanks for being in the chat. I appreciate that. I'm glad to see the cardio helped you. And for some, it may be a little expensive. For others, maybe not. But I think if you're trying to get a doctor to listen to you and a doctor to say, oh, wow, I see what you've caught there. Yeah, we couldn't catch it here. Yeah, that's exactly what we got here. All right. Because the cardio, I believe, is FDA approved. I'm almost 100% it's FDA approved. So, and you can turn it into your insurance. All right. So my cardiologist treats me like okay, we're coming into language here. I don't have any problems with language. That's how humans talk. We fight it, but that's my opinion. So we're just going to read it. I'm a lot older than you, coming up to 70. Okay. So you're 70 years young, but I identify with everything you said, including the attitude of the medics who, unless they suffer themselves, have no empathy or understanding what living with PVCs is like. My cardiologist treats me like I'm a goddamn nuisance every time I turn up and has no answers. My PVC started after I had an ablation for AFib 12 years ago, and they have become a right pain in the butt, disrupting sleep, daily activities, exercise routines, music. Like yourself, I'm a musician. Kudos. Marriage, everything. Went to the electrophysiologist who advised against ablation because the PVCs are polymorphic rather than unifocal. So there's too much risk being under the fluoroscope x-rays for so long while he hunts around for all the trigger points. And at the end of it, it can't guarantee that he'll find them all to ablate. I don't want to do the AADs because, I'm going to scroll up here, of the risk of proarrhythmia. And you are so right about meditation. When your heart is jumping around out of sync with where it should be, that's all you can think about. Meditation, my ass. Boom, and heart. Cassidy, look how this works. Look how this works. Somebody has an ablation for atrial fibrillation, and somebody has for SVT, and they end up with PVCs. Cassidy can't get any relief because they're not, unifocal. They're not coming from one area. They're coming from multiple areas, and it's too risky. Newport gets relief from, yes, the SVT is gone now. I use the cardio to, okay, we read that. So that's gone. So she has PVCs after the ablation. I don't. This isn't. I mean, these aren't paid actors. Look how common this is. A random live stream, right? A random live stream, and look what pops up. This is common. How come more doctors aren't talking about this stuff? Okay. I might get off on a tangent there. So I'm going to move on. Flesh wounded. Do you notice any specific triggers? You and I are in the same boat with this. This is always a great question. A question that I do love because I always search for triggers. There are triggers for me that have varied over the years. Overeating can cause them. Some artificial sweeteners, sugar. What else was there? There's some other things. Caffeine can be a trigger, depending on the quantity, level of it. So, yeah, it can definitely. Those are some of the triggers, and stress and anxiety. But I'm not saying stress and anxiety cause them. I'm just saying stress and anxiety is a trigger. All right. Thanks, Flesh Wounded. I appreciate it. Dave E. 2 weeks ago. Hope things are well. Haven't talked to you in a while, but I can still tell you, battling 7 years now, and every PVC is the first PVC. Never going to get used to them, along with all the scary shit in between. Hope to talk to you soon. Brother Dave. Hey, Dave. How are you? Happy New Year. Let me give you the beeps in the heart, sorry. I've suddenly moved into a Scottish accent. I'm 20%, so sometimes about 20% of the show will be done in Scottish accent. Anyway, you're right. Every PVC is the first PVC. I want that on a t-shirt when I go to visit the docs. I really do. Devious, 3 weeks ago. I get PVCs too, and they scare the shit out of me when I first started getting them. I noticed anxiety, alcohol, coffee, or any other stimulant makes them worse. I also noticed staying hydrated and getting all the nutrition helps them go away. That's very true. Definitely nutrition. When I made my big changes and did things, that did help. It helped a lot. So, what else did you say? I've often wondered, people with ADHD or folks that have to take stimulants that have PVCs, what's that world like? You know? What do those people have to go through? I can't even imagine that. So you're going to get the thumbs and the burps. AJ, 4 weeks ago. I'm just grateful to know others out there not only feel what I feel inside my chest and neck and head and arms and sometimes, but also know how they make me feel. I'm 39, now a lawyer with 3 kids, but my doctor still dismisses me like I'm a 16-year-old kid who first tried to talk about them. I had one doctor take me seriously for a bit, and like you, I had a stress test done with nuclear medicine, but they found my heart structurally sound. Because I was in my 20s and otherwise in good shape and health, they did no interventions. My favorite part of all this, folks, is when they use that phrase, structurally sound. I don't care if my heart's structurally sound. It is structurally sound. It's still there. I'm still alive at 51 years old. That changes nothing. That changes nothing at all. Now doctors just run a quick strip and see that my testing heart rate is in the 60s and my BP is normal, and they don't feel like enough is wrong to warrant further investigation. But it makes me feel like an absolute ass when I have a bad day. It scares the hell out of me. Thank you for posting your video. It really helps to know I'm not crazy. You are not crazy. Nobody who visits here, posts, shares, feels is crazy. We're not crazy. We're just not listened to. We're just not listened to. And I'm sorry. I know why. I think I have a good idea why they run just a strip. Again, I keep checking my screen over here because I'm solo today. They run a strip. Just a little quick strip. And I know there's some benefits to that. You know, you can check things. But nobody's running a strip when it happens, man. And we've got now heart monitors that you can wear for 30 days. Right? I don't believe there's any reason for a doctor who thinks a patient is having arrhythmias, PVCs, SVT, whatever the case may be for you, can't do that. Right? Why can't we do that for 30 days? Why can't we do that for 14 days? Let's find that out. Well, let's go down. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, I promise. But if you live in the United States, Insurance. Somebody's got to, they weigh in. They got to say. Protocols. How many protocols were developed in concert with an insurance company? Yep. All right. Apparently something just came through my screen. Miss Lady Blue World. Well, hello. You were in the chat. All right. Well, hello. It's crazy because when I caught COVID last year, the PVCs went away. I had a rapid heart rate due to being sick, but they actually stopped for a while and then came back eventually. That's interesting. I got to think about that. Mine changed. I don't know if they were more prevalent or not. She goes on to say in the edited, just ran across your videos. I've been dealing with your PVCs for about a solid 2.5 years. I've worn heart monitors, had to call the ambulance many times, and no one could find anything wrong until yesterday. The ultrasound technician caught a small flutter and told me it was PVCs. I just did that on the screen. Sorry. For about a solid, and no one could find anything until they cut the flutter. Even though they were bad, I felt a quick stress off my shoulders because every time I had an episode, no one could catch it, even on heart monitors. Nothing would even happen, even if I felt them. I'm looking to find natural supplements for this because they're scary. I pray everyone gets through this. Let's bada beep and let's bada boops. Yeah, I remember those when I first started getting them. The technology is nowhere near it was now. So this is would have back in the early 90s, right? So they never caught mine. They just assumed that's what it was. And it wasn't until much later that a cardiologist who had just moved into town said, well, let's find out for sure. And that's when he put me on the monitors and we caught it. So yeah, it's easily to dismiss people and do these strips and a little bit of here and there. I'm telling you, you got to do that better. Well, hello, Mr. Jake Love Jesus. Hello. Welcome to the live chat. Jake says, hello, I'm the one with the... You guys can probably see this, right? What am I doing? I'm going to read it anyway. Make me stop. I dare you. Mine is the one we bought for $50. You use your thumbs. It looks normal most of the time, and then it goes into crazy looking rhythm. Okay. Excuse me. My Cardio Mobile will do that too, Jake. I wonder... They call them artifacts, and I wonder, because I do it mine with my thumbs too, I wonder what causes that. I don't know. It looks similar to VFib. My mom tried it, and it showed it too for her. Then it goes back to normal. I'm hoping it's an error with the machine, but I'm worried I got in and out of VFib. If I can remember, if I can get the old cognitive processes and my memory to work, I will post my strip. Yeah, and show you, Jake, kind of what mine looks like and see if they're similar. But thanks for posting that. I appreciate that. Anytime, I like knowing that stuff, having those things at the ready, in case I'm ignored by another doctor. We all know what that is. Newport says, Jake, find an electrophysiologist and show them the strip instead of a regular cardiologist. Jake, question. Newport, that's a great suggestion. Cardio has the ability that I can actually send my strip to a board certified cardiologist and have them read it. It takes less than, the last one I did, it took like maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, and I had the results back. It's all done through the magic of the internet and email. Does that device have something like that? Because that would also be another way to find out if this is just artifact or if there's something really, something there. But thanks, Newport. I appreciate that. Thanks for chiming in. That's a great idea. Mario Pelusto. Hope I say that correct. Just wanted to let you know that everything that you just described, the symptoms, the frustration, the fear, has happened to me since my early 20s. I'm now 62 years old. Mario, we're very similar creatures. And yes, it has been a living hell, and I know your pain. I've done all the tests that you can imagine. And like you, I've always had the same results as yourself. The only thing that has gotten me through this is my faith, and I know that isn't for everyone. When you reach those dark places, I lost my spot, in your life, you will do anything to reach the light. I just want to let you know that after 40 years, I'm still here, still fighting. Remember, there's an end of everything. Yes, sir. We're still fighting. We're still kicking. We're still breathing. We're struggling, but we're still here. And for folks who are younger than me, again, I'm 51. There's some other folks in here that are 60s, 70s. We're still here. We're still battling. We're still struggling. Some of us has gotten improvement. I'm going to be the first person to tell you. Mine were horrible. And you can watch the videos on this stuff. I'm not going to go into it again too much. But they were horrible. And much to my own efforts. And I have a good cardiologist now, I believe. Things are better. You know, I found the right supplements. I found the right diet for me. I found the right stuff that works for me. COVID's kind of changed things a little bit, but until that point, I felt pretty good. So there are some things you can do. There are some things you can try. I need a boops and hearts here. Sorry if I missed everybody's boops and hearts. We're still here. I hope looking to us folks that have the gray in the beard and been around the block a few hundred times, that we're still here, gives you some sort of hope, because we are. But we're still fighting. I'm like a dog chasing a car down the street that won't quit. Jake says it offers an option to email it to people, but I don't have the doctor's email address. Not sure how much. Okay, I'm just curious. I'm gonna look more into that. It seems very interesting, especially since they have like the 24-hour that you can do. Always very interested in that stuff. And thanks for bringing that up again. I really appreciate that, Jake, and good to see you. I hope everybody's having a good New Year's Eve. I honestly did not expect people to be here because it is New Year's Eve. And for those of you wonderful folks who have showed up, who are chatting and stuff, you're outstanding, mate. You're great. Thanks for coming by. All right. Hairlip72. I love gardening and landscaping and was very active leading up to my ablation. Was on amiodarone. I can say this stuff normally, but my language center. Amiodarone leading up to it. It was digging on a patio and bringing in the foundation and laying the patio slabs, and finished it 3 days before I went to London on a train all by myself, had the ablation, and came back home on the train by myself the day after the ablation. After the recovery period, I couldn't even mow the lawn. This set me off. Gradually got worse week by week, where I couldn't even brush my teeth without setting me off. I stopped the amiodarone 1 month post, and this started to come out of my system, and that's when I started declining around 2 months post ablation. 6 month post, I'm back on previous drug that failed, propafenone, which has so far really helped. Still loading them in. Had some slow breakthrough AFib still. Review in January 23. I feel really want to touch up ablation. Okay. Yes. I first of all, I did not read that well. But yes, we're seeing where ablations, there's stuff that happens after the ablation. I had a nurse practitioner, he worked with a cardiologist, tell me that an ablation for PVCs was an absolute cure. It's not. We're seeing this. It can cause problems in other areas, depending what you're going in for, of course. So let's just be honest, and hey, it's not always a fix. So it looks like, hey, DH, I haven't been on here a lot. I haven't seen DH in a bit. I'm glad Jake's here. Newport, got a wonderful bunch of folk in there. Had an AFib since 15 years old, but diagnosed when I was 24 years old. 50 now. Been on 5 medications. Sorry, my phone's doing stuff. And all stopped working. Had my first ablation in May 22, which failed. Back on passport. Okay, so we kind of read that one. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what your name is, but thank you for posting. I appreciate it. Hi, Steve. Long time no see. I knew that looked familiar. I did an ablation 3 years ago. PVCs were calm since then. Still, I get them from time to time. Aggressively, but nowadays I get them regularly without stopping. 3 or 4 per minute. After a meal, it spikes to 13 PVCs per minute. After 3 hours, it comes down to 4 PVCs per minute. Is it the food? Or is it the pressure in the stomach? What are we looking at? Great. Thank you for that information. So after 3 years since my ablation, it's returning like before my ablation. So after 3 years since my ablation, is it returning like before my ablation in your opinion? Do I need a second ablation? First, I want to say I hope you get this figured out. I hope they can help you. One, I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. I cannot give you no medical. I can give, man, my language, eminently. I'm unable to give you any medical advice, and I would never give you medical advice. My suggestion is to visit a cardiologist, an electrophysiologist, and find one that's willing to listen, concentrate on you, be in the moment with you, and hear you. Okay? If not, fire him. If you can. Because the doctor who did my ablation told me that he ablated the annoying ones, but there still are two in which we will not cause problems. I asked him which two ones left they triggered in the future. He told me possibly, but unlikely, so I'm distracted. How do people just talk to people like that? This dismissiveness, you know. No human being is perfect. But I will say this: if I did that in my job, I wouldn't have a job. Newport says AFib ablation is more complex than others because they have to ablate many more parts than, say, an SVT ablation. Thanks for that information, Newports. I appreciate that. DH a month ago says, I know I can feel my pulse on my wrist, and I'll be having the stomach ache pressure every single time I get the hunger pain. I'll get a PVC. When I'm having a bad day, I'll get one every other beat to every third beat, maybe 8 beats, and it'll stay like that for hours and hours, and that's when it becomes unbearable and you're miserable. Now, if I could get one every hour, maybe 2, 3 every hour, or even 25 in a minute, but then go to 2, 3 hours with 1 or 2, I'm okay. Something, you triggered a thought in here. When I had COVID, I took the medication. Something plaque. I don't remember what the name of it was. I'm horrible with that stuff. But it can cause heartburn. So I got some of the heartburn with it. And I noticed when I got the heartburn, I got that pressure, and I would fire off a PVC here and there. Definitely. Anybody else notice that? Like when you have that pressure? Let's see. What are we looking at here? I have no idea what I'm doing today, folks. Oh, we're at 47 minutes. Okay, we're going to do a couple more, and then we're going to pull a plug on this for New Year's Eve. Matthew Curley, I've had them for 20 years. Terrible anxiety, just a sense of doom. Does that sound familiar? Had them every day. Hard to even do everyday things, but you don't have to live this way. I found an electrophysiology team at UAB that done an ablation. I'm 100% better. Let's read more. No BBC or PAC anymore. The guy has not found a good EP. There's good help out there. Please don't listen to this guy. Huh? Well, I'm a little confused. So I'm going to read this so I understand here. I had them for 20 years, terrible anxiety, just a sense of doom. This guy obviously has not found a good EP. There's help out there. Please don't listen to this guy. I think he's referring to me. Huh? Well, I'm a little confused. Please hold. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. State your business. Move on. Remove. I'm not sure what he's saying there. I don't want to take any reports. I'm just going to remove it. Move on. Not sure. DH. You speak the name into the ether, it just works. I'm going to read one of DH's here. So I tried the magnesium many times, and it really didn't take. Then lately I decided to try to take a higher dose, see if it worked. I listened to a young lady on YouTube, and she was an athlete, so she said to make a megadose magnesium. She would take 15 or 2,000 milligrams of magnesium a day, and on the third day they stopped. I upped my dose to around 1,000 milligrams of just straight magnesium. In other words, just magnesium. And I'm about on day 3 of upping the dose, and it seems like they're not as bad. Wow. Okay. So DH, you're here. How are things going? That was a month ago. Is the megadose working? Because I've heard this. I've heard a couple of cardiologist researchers say that we underestimate the amount of magnesium that we actually need. So I'm curious about this. Um, huh. Okay, I'm gonna give you the thumbs and the boops. Megadose. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if you DH, you're still in there. How's it going with that? I have heard of this. I hope this is working. I'd be interested. I've never done the megadose of magnesium. I've tried magnesium in the past. It worked one time and never worked since. I don't. You don't have to listen to this for 20 years because I'm a college student. I had them. Matthew, buddy, you gotta quit. That's not appropriate. It's not a way. Not a way to behave yourself. I'm gonna remove you. Get out of there. Stop it. Don't like that stuff. Yeah, Newport. Okay, Jake says, have you guys ever done a 14-day Zeo patch? I had that done last March. I think they said it was normal. Yeah, I've done Zeo patch. That's actually my favorite. It's so far the ones that I've been on, Jake. Then Newport says magnesium never seemed to help the PVCs for me. Some people it doesn't. Some people it does. I don't understand that. To be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious. I hope DH gets response to that because I'd like to know more. Okay, so we're going on DH. We're just gonna keep going on. K Attic. K Attic. Okay. What's our time looking like here? 52. All right. Oh wow. Okay. Let's take a moment and let's go to the chat. Things are heating up over here. It's like days of our lives. DH says, I've been taking 1,000 milligrams of regular magnesium and the same vitamin D as you and the multivitamin as you, and they have gotten better by 60%. Well, congratulations. I'm going to just. That is phenomenal. Wow. 60%? Huh. The wheels are spinning up in the old brain box here. Yeah. I wonder, when you say regular magnesium, what do you mean by that exactly? Regular magnesium. No specifier, not like citrate or any of the others, or is it just say magnesium? And what magnesium are you taking? And I'm also curious that you're taking the same vitamin D and multivitamin. Now, my thinking here is that can I get more relief if I add your magnesium? So that's now where my thought is. Are we getting somewhere? Are we learning something here? I'm a little excited. Happy New Year. Maybe it's the amount. Okay, I'm gonna let that ponder with you guys, and then maybe we'll get some responses to go back to our comments here. I usually get them after I eat. I have to eat several small meals a day. I have MPP with mild regurgitation. Spent last week at the ER for 24 hours observation, CT scan, chest X-ray, sonogram of the heart, ECG, the whole 9 yards. They said the same thing. Manage your anxiety, extremely frustrating, and yes, to build. Oh my gosh. Huh. Manage your anxiety. That's dismissive. I don't like dismissive. Don't like that. I don't think that's appropriate. The medical profession has a lot to learn from other helping professions. Never say manage your anxiety. Never say manage anything. The best thing in the world that you can never tell anybody if you're in a helping profession is say, How can I help you? What can I do now for you? We know this. What helps? What can I do now? And if you've reached the end of your road, I think the best way to say that is simply, this is all the tests I can run. We're seeing everything is normal. We have some things here, but structurally, things like that, I feel there's nothing to be concerned about. But I know the PVCs, the SVT, the atrial fibrillation, man, my speech, AFib, is destroying your quality of life. How can I help with that? Whether that's recommending to somebody that's an expert that can manage those, help you manage those things, or anything like that, that goes a long way. But when you dismiss somebody, you take hope away. You take that next possible step to a solution away, and leave that person feeling like they're on their own. They're in a dark room with a door shut with no light, trying to figure out how to survive. That's what I feel like when somebody tells me crap like that. Sorry, I got off on my tangent again. Okay. So, boop, boop, doop. Thank you for this video. I was diagnosed with PVCs over a year ago. Went to ER. Heart rate was over 180. Was going through a lot of stress and always had severe anxiety. So fast forward 1 year, going through severe stress again. Went to ER again, and blood pressure was 220 over 123. No other symptoms. Got out on beta blockers now. Still get PVCs, but blood pressure is slightly lower. I'm positive it's anxiety and stress related. Fuck anxiety and fuck PVCs. You said it. You said it. I know this isn't often said on this channel, but I will say this. If you can find the right counselor, therapist to help with anxiety, that's something you should think about. I'm not saying you should, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying it's something to think about, because if you can find a clinician that can focus on the anxiety and find the root of your anxiety, if you believe anxiety is the cause of this stuff, then seek out that professional and see if you can find somebody that can help you manage that, understand that, put that in terms that helps you instead of dismisses you. Because for some of us, the anxiety and the stress and the depression definitely are triggers for the PVCs. Really throw them into chaos. For others, it's I don't know where the hell they come from, but they give me anxiety and they give me stress. So that's what I would recommend. And I have to, because that's my profession. So I'm going to plug the profession here. All right. Let's see what else we got. I'm just going to kind of glance through some of these. We're at, what's our time? 58 minutes, 25 seconds. And I have been here for all those minutes and seconds. Okay, we're going to wind her down now. It's New Year's Eve. It's 5:48, and my beloved spouse has gone out and to grab the nosh for our New Year's Eve. I'm going to read the comments over here, so that's where I'm going. DH says, same with me. I've tried it before. It doesn't work, but I've noticed now since I've raised that dose up to 1,000 milligrams, it's gotten better. Ugh, I can't talk anymore. I'm sorry, folks. Maybe it'll be better in the new year. Just says magnesium 250 milligram. I take 4 of them. Gel caps. Okay, gel caps 250. I'm going to write that down. Do I have a pen? You know, this was impromptu. I really appreciate everybody being here. Happy New Year. I hope you all have great holidays. 250 milligram gel cap. Magnesium. I think you said you were 1,000 milligrams. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Thank you very much, DH. I appreciate that. Newport says, developed panic disorder from the experiences I went through. Turned 20 in November. Been on Valium for 3 months daily. It helps the panic anxiety like 40 to 50%. Do you think long-term benzos are worse? Newport, I'm going to be honest with you. I think anything that has benzos in it that you put long term it wasn't worth it for me. There's a video out there. I talk about it. Honestly, this is so hard to share and make it coherent. I wish I'd have never touched the benzos. They served their purpose. They did. But unfortunately, due to the medical advice and stuff I was given at the time, everybody just said, just keep taking them. They're fine. They're not going to bother you. Well, they did. They did damage coming off of them, even with, tapering was horrible. It was a horrible, horrible experience. And looking back on it now with a different view and stuff like that, I wouldn't have taken them that long. I would have taken them initially. I should be honest about that. I would have taken them initially, but I would have gotten off of them as soon as I could with benzos. That's my personal opinion. If you need them, there's a decision you got to make. But I wouldn't take benzos long term, in my opinion. For me, I wouldn't take them again long term. I don't want to touch them now. I wasn't addicted. I wasn't necessarily dependent, but the process that I had to go through to get off those things was horrible. So that's kind of and always check with your doctor. Okay. Thank you, Newport. Great question. Great comments. Jake says, is it all right if I email you what my graph looks like? I got your email off your about section just to see what I'm dealing with. Yeah, shoot me an email. And again, I can't give you any qualified medical opinion or anything like that. But I'd like to see it and compare it to see what I'm seeing and see if this is like a common thing between like these devices. Because like when you do the 12 lead or 16 lead EKGs in the office, those are very precise. I've read EKGs. I've never seen any kind of like artifacts on those. But when my cardiologist saw mine for the first time, that's what he called what I was saying was artifacts. So, yes, feel free to email it over, and I'll just see what it compares like. I'll see what it compares like. It compares to something. All right. Where are we at? Got to do this. Got to see stuff. Got to move this. We are 1 hour, 2 minutes, folks. Oh, my gosh. Thanks for showing up. This was just, I wanted to do something before the end of the year. I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad so many people are using the channel. I think our ratio to help to ne'er-do-wells that I got to deal with is 1,000 to 0.2. So given the negativity I see a lot on YouTube and different social media, we're doing so fantastic. I think you folks are wonderful, and your stories, I think when I sit here and read through them, I'm just thinking there's such a common thread for all of us. There's kind of this unifying problem that we all have that nobody else understands. So we're kind of stuck together. So, and I appreciate everybody being here. I don't even know how long this channel's been up, but next year we're going to do some more things and hopefully get over this fatigue and get back to the journal stuff and start talking about the COVID and PVCs and just where PVCs are in general. Would like to share my SVT from the cardiac cot right before I got diagnosed. Never thought a heart could beat that fast. Yeah, anybody wants to share anything, that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't put the email address if I didn't want it in there. So, yeah, fire away. Yep. The more we share it, the more we know. Jake says, yeah, my family doesn't get it. Why I worry so much. I don't know. I don't know how to get people to become more empathetic. And we've talked about this, Jake, and I think maybe we even talked about this. I don't know. It's been a while. But getting somebody to understand something they can't see. If I would lose my arm in a car accident, that is so much more easy for people to internalize and understand and become empathetic for. But when you have something like this that, the medical profession says won't kill you, but it destroys your quality of life, that seems to be lost in the translation. That seems to be lost. And I've faced it before. I have faced family members that just didn't get it. I don't want to go into my history on this, but I have dealt with the family members that were dismissive and just mean about it because they couldn't see. They couldn't understand it. Why do you need to go to the doctor? Why do you have to go to the ER? Why do you worry about it? Why do you want to talk about it? Just get over it. Suck it up. I've heard that. Get over it. Suck it up. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. It's not that bad. You're going to be fine. Just grow up. All these things I've heard over the years. Just being dismissive. It's just mean. It's just mean. Where's the empathy? That's what I say. And their family. What's wrong with you people? Okay. I keep getting drugged on. I like this. I'm tapering off lorazepam now, and it's not fun. They did serve their purpose, but now it's time to stop taking them because of the dependency that she developed. I wish I had never started taking them. Yeah. DH, yep. Listen, reach out, post stuff. Let me know you're going through that. That's horrible stuff, DH. It's horrible, horrible stuff. I have been there, and I survived. We do, as we do. We're tough people. Let's not forget that. We are tough people. Because I know a lot of folks that they had to do what we were doing would not do so well. So you are tough cookies. All right? Tough chocolate chip or sugar cookies, whichever the case may be for you. Newport says, same man, had a family member that I don't talk to anymore that said that my brother, when they heard an ambulance and my uncle laughed basically and jokingly asked my brother if that's for people are. I'm not sure I got the last part of it, but it's cruel. It is cruel. It's cruel. I don't know what to do about it, though. I wish I had an answer for a lot of this stuff. But we don't. All right. I could do this all night, but it is New Year's. It is the last day of 2022. Been an interesting year. The channel's grown a huge amount. I've got to meet some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful folks. Jake, Newport, DH. Who else am I missing here? Blue World was here for a while. So this automatically gets uploaded to the YouTube Lord Vault or whatever. It's public. Let's hope people continue to watch. And if you have any ideas, suggestions, want to send me stuff, send me questions. I can build shows around questions, so on and so forth. And we just go from there. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's Eve. If you celebrate, I hope you had a great holiday. And we're going to see you next year. I hope you all take care. Thanks for being here. You folks are fantastic. I say peace out. My name is Steve. This is my channel. Living with PVCs. What boom pow. Bye, everybody.